At this exact moment, while you're watching this video, more than 2 billion meters of adhesive tape are being used around the world. This in just 1 hour. This movement represents approximately $500 million per hour, enough value to buy a skyscraper or finance a small city for an entire year. But here's the real shock. The global adhesive tape industry moves more than $65 billion annually, surpassing the GDP of countries like Croatia or Uruguay. A single company like 3M bills more than $35 billion annually, with 40% of that revenue coming from adhesive products. We're talking about $14 billion just from sticking things. Imagine that every second, approximately 700 meters of adhesive tape are consumed globally. This means that in a single day, humanity uses enough adhesive tape to go around the Earth 60 times. And each meter of that tape represents cents that, when multiplied, generate one of the most lucrative and invisible industries on the planet. Get ready to discover how something as simple as a tape that sticks transformed into a trillion-dollar empire that is present in absolutely everything, from the smartphone in your hand to the airplane you take to travel, passing through cars, hospitals, civil construction, and even space exploration. Welcome to the hidden universe of the world's stickiest business. The transformation of adhesive tape from an accidental invention into a trillion-dollar machine began in 1925, when Richard Drew from 3M created the first transparent adhesive tape to solve an automotive painting problem. That first tape cost $5 per roll. Today, that same product is worth cents, but is sold in billions of units. The first financial explosion came during World War II. The American government spent more than $100 million on special adhesive tapes for sealing ammunition and military equipment. This massive demand created the first industrial adhesive factories, establishing the foundations for an industry that today is worth more than the GDP of many countries. The real turning point occurred in the 60s, when adhesive tape invaded the electronics industry. The demand for conductive and insulating tapes for televisions and radios created a market of $2 billion annually. Companies like Tesa and Nitto emerged as global giants, each moving billions in annual revenue. The digital revolution of the 80s and 90s exponentially multiplied the industry's value. Every computer, cell phone, and electronic equipment uses dozens of different types of adhesive tapes. The electronics tape market alone moves more than $15 billion annually, with profit margins reaching 80%. Today, China produces more than 50% of the world's adhesive tapes, moving more than $20 billion annually in this sector alone. Guangdong Province alone houses more than 3,000 adhesive factories, employing more than 500,000 people and generating revenues superior to entire countries' GDP. The universe of adhesive tapes is much more complex and valuable than it appears, involving advanced chemistry, precision engineering, and applications that move trillions in practically all sectors of the global economy. It all begins with base adhesives, which cost between $5 and $50 per kilogram to produce, depending on complexity. High-performance acrylic adhesives can cost up to $200 per kilogram, but allow profit margins of up to 500%. A single adhesive factory can move $100 million annually. Specialized tapes represent the industry's true treasure. Conductive tapes for electronics cost up to $1,000 per square meter to produce, but are sold for up to $5,000. Aerospace tapes can cost $10,000 per roll, but are essential for industries that move trillions, like aviation and space exploration. The medical tape market moves $15 billion annually. Special surgical tapes cost up to $100 per meter, but save lives and enable procedures that move the $4 trillion medical industry. Each surgery uses an average of $50 in specialized adhesive tapes. Automotive tapes represent a $12 billion annual market. Each modern car uses approximately 200 meters of various adhesive tapes, worth about $300 per vehicle. With 90 million cars produced annually, we're talking about a $27 billion market just in automotive tapes. Before we continue exploring this trillion-dollar empire that is literally stuck to everything around us, we really want to know from you. From what place in the world are you watching? Comment down below. Your comments are fundamental for us to continue revealing the secrets of industries that move trillions and are present in absolutely everything in our lives. Share this video with friends and family. I'm sure they never imagined that something so simple could be worth so much. And don't forget to subscribe to the Factory-Made channel so you don't miss any revelations about the hidden empires that dominate the world economy. The adhesive tape industry represents one of the most lucrative frontiers of applied chemistry, where seemingly simple innovations can be worth billions and redefine entire markets that move trillions of dollars. Nanotechnology and adhesives created an $8 billion market. Tapes with nanoparticles can adhere and detach under electrical command, costing up to $500 per square meter. These tapes revolutionized the electronics industry, enabling flexible screens and foldable devices that move more than 200 billion annually. Smart adhesives that change properties with temperature or humidity created completely new markets. The thermosensitive tape sector moves 3 billion annually, with applications in medicine, electronics, and aerospace. A single smart adhesive patent can be worth more than $100 million. Transparent conductive tapes revolutionize the touchscreen industry, creating a $20 billion annual market. Each smartphone uses approximately $10 in special conductive tapes. With 2 billion smartphones sold annually, we're talking about a $20 billion market just in that application. Structural adhesives replaced welds and screws in many applications, creating trillion-dollar savings. In the aerospace industry, structural tapes costing $1,000 per meter can replace fastening systems that weigh 10 times more, saving millions in fuel over an aircraft's lifetime. Biotechnology applied to adhesives created biocompatible tapes that move 5 billion annually. Tapes that dissolve in the human body cost up to $10,000 per meter, but enable less invasive surgeries that save billions in hospital costs. In the adhesive tape industry, where a defective product can cause everything from electronic failures to aerospace accidents, quality control isn't just important, it's a matter of survival in markets that move trillions. Each batch of adhesive tape undergoes more than 100 different tests, from temperature resistance to durability under radiation. Testing equipment costing $5 million each can simulate 50 years of aging in just 1 week. A single poorly conducted test can result in recalls costing hundreds of millions. Aerospace tapes undergo tests costing up to $100,000 per batch. Each meter of tape used in an aircraft is individually tracked, as a failure can cost $200 million in damages and human lives. Aerospace certifications can cost $10 million per product, but allow access to trillion-dollar markets. Quality laboratories of companies like 3M cost more than $50 million to build and operate. These laboratories test millions of samples annually, ensuring that products costing cents maintain standards that protect trillion-dollar industries. Traceability systems allow each roll of tape to be tracked from raw material to final use. This traceability, costing millions to implement, is crucial for industries like automotive and electronics, where recalls can cost billions. International certifications like ISO and UL cost hundreds of thousands per product, but are essential for accessing global markets. A certified tape can command prices up to 1,000% higher, a difference that can be worth billions for large manufacturers. The adhesive tape industry faces the challenge of being simultaneously essential to the global trillion-dollar economy and a potential environmental problem, creating billion-dollar opportunities in sustainable technologies and recycling. Biodegradable tapes are emerging as a $2 billion market. Adhesives made from plant materials cost up to 3 times more to produce, but meet sustainability demands from industries that move trillions. Companies like Amazon have already invested $100 million in biodegradable packaging tapes. Adhesive tape recycling created a $500 million annual industry. Special processes costing $10 million to develop can separate adhesives from substrates, recovering valuable materials. A ton of recycled electronic tape can yield up to $5,000 in recovered materials. Water-soluble tapes revolutionized packaging, creating a $1.5 billion market. These tapes cost 5 times more than conventional ones, but eliminate waste and meet environmental regulations affecting trillions in global commerce. The industry's carbon offset programs have already invested more than $200 million in reforestation and clean energy. Each ton of tape produced generates approximately 2 tons of CO2, but offset programs transform this into green investment opportunities. Innovations in sustainable packaging using special tapes can save trillions in global logistics costs. Tapes that enable lighter and more efficient packaging have already saved more than $5 billion in global transportation costs. The adhesive tape industry faces complex challenges that cost billions to solve, but each innovative solution not only overcomes obstacles, it creates new market opportunities that can be worth trillions. Oil price fluctuation directly affects production costs, as most adhesives derive from petrochemicals. When oil jumped to $150 per barrel in 2008, the industry lost $15 billion in margins. The solution was diversification to bio-based adhesives, creating a new $3 billion annual market. Environmental regulations created $10 billion challenges, forcing product reformulation. $2 billion in research investments created solvent-free adhesives that not only meet regulations, but offer superior performance, increasing margins by 20%. Low-cost competition from Asia forced innovation in high-value products. American and European companies invested $5 billion in ultra-specialized tapes, creating market niches with margins exceeding 300% and $15 billion annual movement. Scarcity of special raw materials led to the development of alternative synthetic adhesives. $1 billion in investments created substitutes that not only solved supply problems but reduced costs by 30%, saving billions annually. Demands for extreme performance in space and military applications cost $500 million to develop, but created technologies that were later applied to civilian markets, generating returns of more than $10 billion. Adhesive tapes permeate absolutely all aspects of the modern economy, creating value chains that extend through practically all sectors, moving trillions and becoming invisible but indispensable. The electronics industry consumes $20 billion annually in adhesive tapes. Each smartphone contains approximately 15 different types of tapes worth about $5 per device. With 2 billion smartphones sold annually, just this application moves 10 billion. Semiconductor tapes are even more valuable, costing up to $1,000 per square meter. The automotive sector represents the largest individual market, moving $25 billion annually. Electric cars use 50% more adhesive tapes than conventional ones, especially for battery insulation. Each Tesla uses approximately $500 in specialized tapes. With the electric car market growing 40% annually, this application could reach $50 billion by 2030. Civil construction moves $15 billion annually in adhesive tapes. Sealing and insulation tapes are essential in modern construction. Each house uses approximately $200 in various tapes, and commercial buildings can use up to $50,000. The global real estate boom constantly drives this market. Medicine and pharmaceuticals consume $12 billion annually. Surgical tapes cost up to $100 per meter, but are essential in procedures that move $4 trillion annually. Each cardiac surgery uses approximately $300 in specialized tapes. Smart bandage tapes that monitor healing can cost $1,000 per unit. Packaging and logistics move $18 billion annually. Amazon alone uses more than $1 billion annually in packaging tapes. Global e-commerce, which moves $5 trillion annually, depends completely on adhesive tapes to function. The future of the adhesive tape industry promises transformations that can redefine how trillions of dollars are moved in practically all sectors of the economy, with innovations creating unimaginable market opportunities. Smart tapes with integrated sensors represent a $10 billion frontier. These tapes can monitor temperature, pressure, humidity, and even detect structural failures in real time. In aviation, sensor-equipped tapes can predict maintenance, saving billions in operational costs and increasing safety. Programmable adhesives that can be activated or deactivated remotely will create 15 billion markets. Applications in robotics, medicine, and flexible electronics can revolutionize entire industries. Imagine medical devices that attach and remove automatically, or robots that can climb any surface. Nanotechnology applied to adhesives can create tapes with properties impossible today. Tapes that become stronger under stress, that change color to indicate problems, or that self-repair can be worth trillions in critical applications like infrastructure and aerospace. Biotechnology will create living adhesives that grow and adapt. Research with $500 million in investments is developing adhesives based on muscle proteins that work even underwater. Marine and medical applications can be worth $50 billion. Sustainability will create a $100 billion revolution in completely recyclable and biodegradable tapes. Regulatory pressures and consumer demand will force a complete transition by 2040, creating massive opportunities for innovative companies. We've reached the end of an extraordinary journey through one of the most underestimated and lucrative industries on the planet, a $65 billion empire that is literally stuck to absolutely everything around us, moving trillions in practically all sectors of the global economy. From simple tapes costing cents to aerospace tapes worth thousands of dollars per meter, each product in this industry represents not only advanced chemistry and precision engineering, but the invisible foundation that sustains our modern technological civilization. We've seen how an industry that began with an accident in 1925 transformed into an empire that moves more money than many countries' GDP. How companies like 3M bill $35 billion annually by sticking things, and how every smartphone, car, airplane, and even our own medicine depend completely on these simple adhesive tapes. The economic complexity of this industry is impressive, from adhesives costing $5 per kilogram to specialized tapes worth $10,000 per roll. Each product serves specific markets that, combined, move trillions. This is an industry where innovation and chemistry meet to create solutions that are simultaneously invisible and indispensable. The future promises to be even more spectacular, with smart tapes, programmable adhesives, and biotechnology creating opportunities worth hundreds of billions. This isn't just the story of how adhesive tapes are made. It's the revelation of how something apparently simple became one of the most powerful and invisible economic forces in the modern world. Wow, what an incredible revelation we just made together about this trillion-dollar empire that is literally stuck to everything. Now we really want to know, which discovery impressed you the most? The $65 billion moved annually? The fact that each smartphone uses 15 different types of tapes? Or perhaps the prospects of smart tapes worth trillions? Comment below with your impressions and especially from which city in the world you're watching. It's fascinating to discover that our factory-made community spreads across the entire planet, united by curiosity about the hidden empires that dominate our economy. If this video opened your eyes to the trillion-dollar power of adhesive tapes, share it with friends and family. I bet they never imagined that something so simple could be so valuable and present in absolutely everything around us. And don't forget to subscribe to the Factory Made channel and hit the bell to not miss any revelations about industries that move trillions and are hidden right under our noses. What other simple products would you like to see unveiled here on the channel? Special thanks to the world's leading adhesive companies, chemical research institutes, and market analysts who, through public reports and available documentaries, made it possible to unveil the trillion-dollar secrets behind this industry that is literally stuck to everything. We also thank the chemists, engineers, and innovators whose meticulous work allowed us to present precise numbers about this $65 billion economic machine that produces billions of meters of tapes that sustain our modern civilization. And of course, our biggest thanks go to you, our incredible factory-made audience, who dedicate your time to discover with us the secrets of industries that move trillions and are present in absolutely everything in our daily lives. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep discovering with us the hidden empires that shape our world. Until the next Factory Made episode, where more revelations about trillion-dollar industries await you. The next time you use adhesive tape, pick up your smartphone, get in a car, or even apply a bandage. Remember, you're interacting with one of the most powerful and lucrative industries on the planet. Each stick, represents decades of chemical innovation, billions in investments, and proof that sometimes the greatest fortunes are hidden in the simplest things in our lives.